I live in Salem, Massachusetts in the US. I am a registered nurse. I have been trained through the Cushi Institute for macrobiotics. I've been macrobiotic for about 30 years. I recently wrote a book called Let's Act Like Rice about the suffering that I see people in the hospital and how much suffering is unnecessary due to, of course, dietary practices, and how plant-based living would correct most of that. I have lots of recipes in my book. But today
I have to immediately interrupt you to just let you know that when you say let's act like rice, that's my family name. So
that's right. That's right. But today I'm talking about our energetic systems, the chakra systems. I am a registered polarity practitioner. I've been working with the chakra system with, I won't say patients, I call them loved ones, because love is really what does the healing. And so I feel that once we understand who we are on an energetic level and understand what blocks us from moving forward, then we can, of course, address that blockage and, live a happy life. So I will be doing a presentation on the chakra system and how to clear our chakras using light and life force. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Okay, I don't see it here. No. Share. Okay, I'm very lost. I might have to take a moment out and get someone to help me with this, because I have a screen
Joaquin,
here.
can you help any?
I don't know where I am.
Somewhere on Earth.
I can't understand what we are doing. Is this some kind of application you are using? No?
You should pause the recording, Ginat.
Okay, good idea.
Our physical bodies. Within our physical bodies, we have a blueprint of energy. It is sort of the way that the spirit incarnates into the body. And the body is how we move through our life to learn lessons and achieve goals. That all starts with the blueprint of who we are on an energetic, spiritual level. So everyone has a chakra system. You don't have to be religious or any ethnic race or religion, or all human beings, actually all living creatures, have a life force. It is the spark of life that happens at birth that makes us different than people who are not alive. It is the force of life flowing within us. All living life is an energetic spiral, which is what the chakras do. They spiral around the spine and they create these intersections of energy. We have heaven's force coming down from the heavens that brings energy down into our body. We have earth's force that brings energy up into our body. And where these energies kind of clash together, they make a vortex of energy along the spine. Those are called chakras. They are highly charged wheels of light in consciousness. We have approximately 114 chakras, but we really only talk about the 7 main chakras here. But we have chakras everywhere. We have chakras even that extend into our aura and into the universe. So I'm going to start from the top and explain each chakra as we work our way down. So what we call the crown chakra is the 7th chakra. It sort of is like a funnel shape on the top of our head that goes into infinity. And that is what connects us to our higher guidance, that brings divine energy into our body, and it holds our higher self. The higher self is the aspect of ourself that knows exactly how to take the next step in our life. It's sort of the inner you that guides you to what you need to do next. We always want to be in contact with our higher self and not be disconnected from this chakra, because it really is the chakra that moves us forward. When we have limitations in our life, sometimes it's because the chakra is blocked. Each chakra is related to a color, an endocrine gland, as well as an age of development in our physical bodies. The crown chakra is the white and violet colors. It pertains to the pineal gland. It really creates universal understanding, because when the crown chakra is open, we are connected to the whole universe. We can see the whole picture and think in holistic terms. Our crown chakra are similar to our ears because they continue to grow and develop throughout our whole life. The crown chakra never stops developing. So as energy comes in through the crown, we have the next chakra, which is right between the eyes, which is called the third eye chakra. And it is the seat of our intuition. Sometimes we just have a gut feeling about something, and we should really be trusting that. If our chakras are aligned and we are in good health, our intuition will guide us into judgment, whether something is correct, or probably maybe not the right thing for us to do, or the right thing for us to do. It's associated with the autonomic nervous system, where there are two parts of our nervous system. We have the central nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord. We have the autonomic nervous system, which is our fight or flight, which gets us ready to prepare for danger. Or the other part of the autonomic nervous system is the relaxation response, which is the opposite of fight or flight. It brings us into a calm, tasmic state. Now, the third eye is related to the pituitary gland, but it is fueled energetically by the pineal gland. Now, this chakra can get very blocked up by a lot of thinking, overthinking, crunching numbers. Sometimes when we leave our bodies and we enter our mind, our heads, and we think, and worry, we can sort of block off this chakra. The pineal gland is one of the smallest glands in our body, with the most power and the richest blood supply for this little teeny rice-shaped gland. It produces and controls our melatonin, which is our sleep hormone. The pineal gland regulates our circadian rhythms so that we sleep and wake on certain cycles. The color here is indigo. It's been related to psychic visions as people have passed on. I see that in hospice care, we leave our chakras from the bottom up. We come into this earth from the top down. But as we die, if we're, as people are around your deathbed, you can actually watch, if you're tuned in understanding chakras, you can see how the spirit leaves the body from the bottom chakra up. This is where people can go to the light, they see the light. This is our psychic vision that we all have, that is very, very prevalent during the dying process. It is our spiritual awakening. When the third eye is open, we can see what the physical eyes cannot see. We can see the glory and the love in the world. Now, this little gland can get calcified through poor dietary practices, just like all of our organs get calcified from animal protein and salt and things that harden and condense. And this gland is so tiny that our culture here in America, the diet being the standard American diet, most people by the age of 12 have calcification already in this tiny gland, which can block our intuition and our spiritual awakening. It's very related to the oneness of movement. All animals that have a pineal gland can move in unison, like a school of fish or a flock of birds. They all move in the same way. They know how to be, a oneness with each other because of the pineal gland. The pineal gland has cones and rods, just like the physical eyes do. As the energy moves down into our throat chakra, the fifth chakra, this is the seat of our expression. The lower chakras come, energy moves up through the lower chakras to the throat to be expressed. So if we're not speaking our truth to people who need to hear what we have to say, we're kind of suppressing our throat chakra. It is pertained to the thyroid gland. Today in America, Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, especially in women, is really epidemic. Many people are suffering with thyroid conditions because the blueprint of the throat has been suppressed or blocked. The color here is blue, and it holds our inner 7 to 12-year-old. If you've ever raised children or work with children, you know that this is the age that they begin to put their voice forward. And if that voice is not supported, that is, the beginning of learning how to block our throat chakra. So, to keep the throat chakra open by singing and chanting and babbling or grunting or any voice that expresses inner emotion or inner energies, to let it go, let it be free, and let us have our expression. Keeps a nice, healthy fifth chakra. Moving down as the energies come past the throat, they move into the chest, into what we would say the heart chakra. Now, people will argue with me on this one that the heart is a 4-chamber organ that pumps blood, but we know that our hearts hold love. We feel that love and that warmth in our chest when we're with our loved ones, or we express love, or we receive love. This is the heart chakra opening and closing to our environment. That's that feeling of love that we feel. It pertains to the thymus gland, which is part of our immune system. It is connected with love, compassion, faith, gratitude. The colors here are pink and green. It holds our inner teenager. A lot of our inner teenagers are full of rage, not full of pure love and compassion, sometimes from blocked heart chakras. Poor dietary practices can also block our life force and our energies, because when our blood vessels and our physical organs become clogged with fats and cholesterol, so do our energies, so does our mind, so does the gut. Because we are holistic, everything gets clogged up. So by maintaining macrobiotic practices and keeping our energies moving, keeps our heart open so that we can continue to bring love into the world and share love with the ones that we want to. Very associated with touch. We wear our wedding rings on the left hand because, they are associated with the heart that travels up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, traveling up the arm into our heart chakra, which is an extension of our heart, is our hands. So by, really feeling your love and allowing that love to travel down your hands and placing your hands on someone that may need some love or compassion is very, very powerful. In my early years as a nurse, we used to have lots of time to spend with our patients, and we would do hands-on healing. Unfortunately, times have changed, and that is not part of our practice anymore. Eating greens, foods that have pink and green, can also help to enhance the heart chakra. So, kales and collards and our leafy greens, very opening for the heart. The solar plexus is right above the navel. It pertains to our digestion. It holds our inner 3 to 5-year-old. That little toddler that wants to put their autonomy forward. They want to do it themselves. It's the age where they begin to say, no. They say no to everything. It's because they're trying to put their will. This is where the will center lives. It's our personal power. When you have a thought and you want to turn it to action, you need a strong will. You need to put forward your thoughts in the world. If those thoughts and the will is supported, you will grow up to have a healthy will center. If those thoughts are squashed and you are not allowed to put your will into the world, you may have some digestive issues. This is where all of our digestion takes place in the small intestine. This is the center of the gut-brain axis where they communicate, the gut and the brain communicate together. It's associated with the adrenal glands. Many people today are drinking high-powered energy drinks full of, high content of caffeine, which can deplete our energy. The adrenal energy can also weaken this solar plexus so that we don't have strong will, we don't have personal power. The color that's associated with this chakra is yellow. Yellow, by the way, is also the color of bile, which is produced right here in the liver in this same area. So keeping this chakra open by eating foods that are yellow and voicing your will and putting your will out into the world, even in small ways, will keep this chakra good and healthy. The second chakra is deep into the belly, right below the navel, and it's called the second chakra, or the sacral chakra. And this chakra really holds the deepest essence of who we are. Any problem in our life, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, everything of who we are lives in this chakra. So if you want to heal any one part of you, usually best to begin on the second chakra. The color here is orange. Orange foods will help support this. And where I live, we have 4 seasons. And in the fall, we have beautiful orange foliage, which really helps to support and nourish this chakra just by walking in nature. Some cultures call this the dantian or the hara. It pertains to the ovaries. And we have issues of trust and safety. Any issues in your life that pertain to trust and safety would live in this chakra. So if you don't feel safe in this world, if you don't feel safe in your living environment, and there are people that have betrayed you and trust is difficult, you may find that you have some maybe ovarian or uterine or colon problems, because these are the organs that live right there. It pertains to energies that ebb and flow within our life, like sexuality, money, love, things that come in our life and things that go out. Just keeping that flow of in and out constant. Our inner 2-year-old lives here, and because our deeper wounds can live here, sometimes we let our inner 2-year-old make our decisions. Just turn on the news, you can see the behaviors of people letting their inner 2-year-olds run their life. The base chakra pertains to all of the lower organs. The testes and the ovaries are the endocrine glands that this chakra pertains to, but also the colon and lower digestive organs, which is really interesting because fear lives in this chakra. When this chakra gets blocked, we have fear. Now, interestingly, when the COVID pandemic hit, everyone ran out, and what did we buy? Toilet paper. Fear in toilet paper, right? We were afraid, and that is the lower chakra that pertains to the colon and moving your bowels, and that is what we bought. We ran out and bought toilet paper. What we did here. These are all of our survival needs live here: food, clothing, shelter, basic human survival needs. It is the seat of the Kundalini. The Kundalini is the most powerful energy in the body. It sits right on the base of the spine. And during certain meditation practices or chanting or spiritual practices, this energy can be released and is very powerful. This chakra connects us to the earth and keeps us grounded. So if you feel that nothing in life will knock you over because you're pretty grounded, you have a very healthy base chakra. The color here is red. So eating foods that are red can help to support this. Wearing clothes that are red, even decorating your home with colors that, support your chakras can also, color is just another vibration. And by the time we are 1 year old, we know whether or not we have basic survival needs, and that is when this chakra is developed. Any questions on any of the chakras? I know it was a quick overview, but Any questions?
That was amazing. That was really wonderful.
You could really do a whole seminar on each individual chakra because, you know, we are very complex, amazing creatures. So if there are no questions, we can do just a very simple chakra alignment. In my book, I call this the daring clearing. So do I have any? Yeah. So if you can just find a place in your space where you are with your feet flat on the floor, the chakras root into the spine, and that they come in the front and the back, and they root in the spine. So keeping a straight spine keeps your chakras in good alignment. So anytime you want to do a spiritual practice, having a straight spine is very important. So be comfortable, but be straight. Close your eyes, take in a deep breath, and just let it go. Just knowing that whatever concerns you have today will be there when we're finished. And just for a moment, just focus on your breathing and just notice your breath coming in and your breath going out. Finding the rhythm of our own being, the own pulsations of our life. And with your eyes closed, if you can envision above you this beautiful, glistening white light. This light is always there. It is always there for us if we just open our chakras and let it in. And that's what we'll do today. So if you can just in some way feel or imagine the feeling of the crown chakra on top of your head as it is a funnel, letting this beautiful light come into our bodies, swirling, whatever the vision you have, allowing this light into our crown chakra and filling up our forehead and our third eye, where our intuition, allowing this light to strengthen the third eye, to bring healing to the pineal gland, so that the pineal gland can help us sleep better and live better, allowing all the absorption powers of our third eye to bring in and hold on to this light, allowing this light to come in through the crown, past the third eye and into the throat. And just sit for one moment and notice what your throat feels like. You don't have to name it. Does it feel open? Does it feel closed? Sometimes we have a tickle in our throat. We have a little blockage of energy. And allow that light to fill the throat chakra so that you can be heard, so that your voice has power and significance. Letting the throat chakra be open and consumed with light. And then again, returning to the light above your head, it is even more brilliant and more beautiful and more glistening as we invite that light into our crown, past the third eye, past the throat, and into our heart, where all of our love resides. Love for ourselves, love for others, love for our country, love for our leaders, love for our neighbors, love for our enemies. Let that love in our heart accumulate and feel the warmth and the power of love. Letting that love spread through our body and bring love wherever we need love today. Noticing if there's any colors that may be present, any pinks or greens or any color, any vibration or words, without judging them, just noticing. Sit and notice the light in your chest and all of your love. And then returning to the light above our head, inviting it in, its magnificent brilliance as it comes in through the third eye, past the throat and the heart, into the solar plexus, into the chakra, the will center. allowing the light to consume every nook and cranny in our upper belly, letting our chakra absorb this light into us, bringing our will strong into our bodies. Allowing that light to turn on its power as it moves down into our second chakra, deep into the belly. Bringing light to every aspect of your life, as a parent, as a child, as a teacher, as a friend, as a lover, every aspect of who we are. Gain strength by bringing in this light, absorbing all of its divine power. Clearing what no longer serves you, just letting it go. It doesn't need to be named, just let it be free. If it is not of light, let it go. Again, envisioning the light above you is always there waiting for us, allowing that light to come in through the crown, through the third eye as it travels down into our throat, cleansing as it moves down our spine into our heart, to the solar plexus, the second chakra, and down into the base chakra, which again is a funnel pointing down into the earth. And that light comes down into the earth and spreads like roots of a tree, holding us strong like a mountain, like the earth, bringing in all of those earthly energies up into our chakra, up into the base chakra, into the second chakra, moving those energies up into the solar plexus, the heart, as it travels into our throat, our third eye, and our crown. So we have earthly energies coming up into us. We have divine energies coming down into us. And just feel that pulsation of life that is our natural gift, to be fully alive. When that feels complete for you, you may bring your awareness back into where we are and open your eyes. Do we have questions about chakras and alignment? Do we feel well? Do we feel alive? Do we feel the pulsations of life? Did anything get unblocked? Did any new inspirations come to you?
I feel very relaxed. Thank
Yes,
you.
that is stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system into the relaxation response. Very good.
Thank you.
I feel very unblocked. I used to do a meditation where actually I belonged to a group where anyway, we would focus on moving the white light from the earth to the heaven and back down and do a number of exercises. And I remembered doing it a long time, for doing it for several months with a few other things, that when I had, for instance, if I was angry, I felt like I was so unblocked, I had more energy to the anger. Or if I felt love, I had more energy to, I just felt more.
Yes. You had more things moving around.
More force and power. So I felt really, wow. Yeah. So thank you. That reminded me of this. How important it is to do.
When we begin to learn our chakras, if you work with your chakras every day, feeling what it's like when they're open and when they're blocked, you can clear your chakras in a snap. You can do it in the shower. You can, it takes a moment to actually align and, regroup. My daughter was a dancer, and as a child, she would be in the wings on the stage, and she would almost be in panic that she was afraid to go on stage. And I would go in the back with all the little girls, and I would do a little chakra alignment. And these girls went on, and they were not nervous, and they were calm, and they're, it's really a wonderful way to stay in your body and stay focused, to keep your chakras in alignment. Many things can pull us off of that alignment. So if you feel that this little, 3-minute exercise had any benefit, notice what pulls you off. Because when we start our day being aligned, and then you enter your workspace or whatever environment you're in, something will pull you off and, upset you, or something will change that alignment for you. And it's good to know what that feels like and what that trigger is, so then you can not repeat that again.
What if that keeps happening? Would you do your exercise to get back into alignment?
Well, yes, I think I would sit with the chakra that it relates to, and just really sit in there. And inside of our energies, if you had, say, you felt something in your throat, I would go into my little alignment, and then I would sit in my throat chakra, and I would ask myself, what does this problem look like physically? You don't want to think about it. Let the energy show you. So maybe it's a big black blob. Okay, so what does this big black blob in my throat want to do? Well, it wants to be free. How does it want to be free? It wants you to scream. So I would scream. Let that energy move any way it tells you it wants to do. That's what I would do. Just sit with that chakra, or sit with that problem, and feel where it lives inside of your body. And then focus on that part of your body, and just sit and be the observer. We don't want to think of the solution. We just want the body to tell us. It can be life-changing when you know where your blocks are. And then what happens is you begin to notice them in others.
What's the name
Help
of
others.
What's the name of your book, Donna?
The name of the book is Let's Act Like Rice, right here. You can get it on lulu.com. My chakra exercise is in here, and I have a very more in-depth explanation of the chakras in here. And I have lots of macrobiotic recipes. I do talk a little bit of healing the chakras with crystals and cleaning your environment with crystals. You see, when individual rice plants grow, their roots connect and entangle with each other, and it forms this rich, thick fabric of root that you could actually cut with shears. It's very thick, and it supports the whole rice paddy. So as we go forward in our macrobiotic practice, and we become stronger, and our third eye becomes open, we can then connect with others to create a whole, to support the greater good. And, look at our world that we're in. Everyone is divided on so many issues. There is no unified love. Well, I shouldn't say there's none. There's less than perhaps when we were growing up. People are divided over gender, race, politics. Name a topic, and it's the extremes. We don't see a lot of the unified thinking. So as we become strong in macrobiotics, we support the greater whole, and we begin to act like rice, and we form that fabric of unison.
Thank you.
Sherry Demaris, I think Jeanette, that she's doing a documentary on rice.
That's right. That's right. The spirit of rice.
The spirit of rice. We should connect you to, so she could use some of your knowledge.
Yes, yes. They have my book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also,
Wow, this
I
is
have,
really.
oh, sorry. No, I mean, I
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So if you're sitting for a while and you have my throat, for instance, I think today it just feels very like, almost like it's being strangled. Do you sit with that for a long time to see if that will pass?
I would sit with that until something reveals itself. It will tell you, your inner higher guidance will guide you. You know, our spirits want to be free. We want to move forward in our life, even though we have so many things that can hold us back. Our spirit is always trying to move forward so that we can grow and change and learn and act like rice. So if you sit with that for a while, your inner guidance, your inner energies will tell you and show you what that energy is all about. It may be something that happened yesterday. It may be something that happened when you were 4 years old and you don't even remember. And it doesn't even matter what it is. Just let it be free in any way that it wants to be free. Our energy is like a fist. If you hold your fist really, really tight for a long period of time, and then at the last minute, hold it even tighter, you will find that when you begin to open it, it hurts because you've held it tight for so long. When we have traumas in our life, and trauma can just be a look, it doesn't have to be, you know, an assault and a beating. Trauma happens every day in our lives, from childhood all the way into our elderly years. And we have these little tight fists all over our energy systems, and they all want to be free. Energy wants to move. It doesn't want to be held stagnant like that. So just sitting with that tight fist and just watching it open, and just let it open and let it do its thing. Let it flow. Let it go, they say in the Disney movies. Let it go. We don't want tight fists. Are chakras new to people? Some people know chakras and some people don't.
You know, I chant Om with a group to the chakras on
Yeah.
each, but I didn't get the result that I do today because you gave us focus. So thank you.
Well, you know, everything in our world is vibration, and sound is vibration as well. So each chakra also has a sound. And when you Om, that actually stimulates all of the chakras along the spine. So Om can be very powerful just in vibration. You know, color is vibration. Our thoughts are everything in our world is vibration. It all relates to our chakras because our chakras are vibrations. So electromagnetic fields, now that we have 5G and all these other you know, devices and computers all emitting electromagnetic fields, our energies are magnetic. We are magnetic beings. Can also block our chakras and create chaos in our chakras. So keeping them open, moving, eating well, all those things. Some things we can prevent and some things we have no control over. We can't control the stresses in our life, but we can control how we respond to them and how we react to them. So when you come from a place of groundedness and alignment, you see your problems in a much different way than someone who is off balance and maybe, over exaggerated or hysterical, you're going to solve your problems in two different ways. I would rather solve my problems from a place of being grounded and open, and let my love flow, and let my love be out in the world. I want to act like rice.
Donna, how did you realize this image of acting like rice?
At the last summer conference, the Macrobiotic summer conference that we had live at Eastover in the US, they brought in rice plants, and I saw it. I said, that's how we should, rice is such a big part of the macrobiotic diet. Not only should we be eating it, we should be acting like it. So it just really hit me. I was teaching some classes there, and I wanted to do an exercise where we all tangle up with each other and see how it supports each other. So yeah, that was my inspiration. And the whole ride home, it was a 3-hour drive. I had all these ideas going in my head. I came home and I wrote them all down, and a book was created.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
So I think you've been doing this work for quite a while.
Yes, as a nurse in the hospital, we eat too much, we smoke too much, we drink too much, we make bad choices in all aspects of our life. And when a person is suffering, they don't only suffer, the family suffers. And then that suffering goes into the communities, because we need outreach, we need education, we need support. And, those problems then go into, cities and states and governments and actually the world. So each individual person who is suffering impacts everything. And most of our suffering is unnecessary. We have people my age who are caring for their parents with dementia, completely reversible. Today, we have so much infertility that, parents are suffering, they can't reproduce. It can be preventable. Cancers, many of the cancers that we see today are preventable. So much of what we suffer with every day is preventable if we just know how to align our energies, eat well, move. We all know what to do, usually. We just choose not to. And we choose not to because we're aligned to an energy that's not supporting our life force. So when you're aligned to the light and you're aligned to the divine, your higher self leads you down the right path. We make better decisions when we're in alignment than when we let the inner 2-year-old make our decisions. To eat ice cream every day, to, smoke or whatever hurts our health. So yes, we are like puzzles, and each piece we're a recipe of health. And when all the pieces fit together and the recipe is done, we're a beautiful dish. We are Nishime.
The word in Hebrew, neshama, means soul.
Is that right?
Like
I didn't know that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It was really my pleasure being here today. I'm really excited to share, my words with you all, and to meet new people, new macrobiotic friends.
Indeed. Well, we super appreciate you coming here and your wisdom and your insight and your sharing. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Great.